People like to repeat a comforting excuse every time a DC movie fails. That Marvel arrived first. That Warner never found the right tone. That executives ruined everything. All of that is surface noise. The real reason DC doesn't work on film is simpler and far more uncomfortable. DC was afraid to show the truth. That its heroes are always one bad day away from becoming Homelander, and audiences would have loved that. DC was never meant to be bright, friendly, or aspirational in the Marvel sense. It was built as broken mythology. Gods pretending to be human, terrified of what happens if they stop pretending. Marvel was always street-level, emotional, and messy. DC was Olympus in disguise. Superman isn't a Boy Scout. He's an alien with extinction-level power, held together by a moral framework borrowed from small-town America. Batman isn't a cool billionaire. He's a functional psychopath who turned childhood trauma into a private paramilitary operation. Wonder Woman isn't a quirky warrior princess. She's a demigod raised for war. Flash casually breaks reality because he can't emotionally process loss. Aquaman rules a civilization that resents humanity. Green Lantern is a space cop whose weapon runs on emotional dominance. Shazam is a child with unlimited power and zero regulation. That's not a heroic universe. That's a systemic risk. Christopher Nolan understood this. He didn't soften Batman. He leaned into the pathology. A traumatized billionaire using fear as governance. A city that doesn't want saving, only control. A hero who isn't good, just necessary. That's why it worked. After Nolan, Warner panicked. Suddenly the question wasn't, who are these characters, but what if they feel dangerous? They tried to smooth edges that were never meant to be smooth. They tried to Marvelize a universe that isn't Marvel. The result was tonal confusion, emotional incoherence, and gods cracking jokes while cities collapsed. It's like making a Hannibal Lecter movie and insisting he's vegan. If anyone doubts what DC really is, Flashpoint Paradox tells the truth. Wonder Woman turns genocidal. Aquaman becomes imperial. Batman kills. Superman is isolated and weaponized. Flash destroys reality out of grief. That is DC without makeup, Greek tragedy with capes. Then The Boys arrives and does what DC refused to do. It treats superheroes as a systemic threat. Homelander is Superman without censorship. Butcher is Batman without breaks. Queen Maeve is Wonder Woman exhausted by hypocrisy. A-Train is Flash on corporate stimulants. Audiences loved it not because it's edgy, but because it's honest. We no longer live in a naive century. People don't want heroes who save the world. They want to see what happens when power has a bad day. DC didn't fail because it lacked vision. It failed because it lacked courage. It tried to hide that its heroes flirt with psychopathy when that was the entire narrative advantage. DC was the boys long before the boys. It just chose to cosplay Marvel instead. And that's where the magic died. DC didn't lose to Marvel. It lost to its own reflection. Subscribe, share, and remember, people don't hate dark heroes. They hate dishonest ones.